get going. So, did you know we just finished 1 out of 4? Yeah, we just finished 1 out of 4. So we're right on time, of course. Okay, let's move on. All right. That's okay. That's okay. We can go until like 8 p.m. So now we're moving on to different viewpoints. Okay? We finished, or we just talked about physical and the functional viewpoint. Now we're going to talk about value or higher purpose and alternative ideas. So I want you to pay attention to the instruction that I'm going to give now. So now I'm going to start talking about the technique or the tool called value graph. Okay? But I will just briefly introduce you to the value graph, and we will just stick to the upper half of this graph. Okay? So value graph is a purpose and alternative viewpoint, and there's a higher purpose identified, and alternative ideas are also identified. And this was designed or created by Professor Ishii. He unfortunately died in 2009, and he was a professor at Stanford, and he is one of the fathers of KOSDM design project. That's a class that's very similar to this KOEdge program. So the value graph, let me briefly introduce you to the value graph. Value engineering is the mother or the father of this technique called value graph. And they're in the value engineering field, there is a way to systematically review their objectives and propose design. So this is being a father of a value graph. And this technique, value graph, was developed based on functional structural analysis from value engineering. And what it does is to associate values of your concept and the functions of your concept and the concept itself. It's visually connected. So that's what it does. And thinking beyond your first idea is everything about the value graph. So I'm just going to kind of briefly go over. So this is the why part of the value graph. Why you create your value graph. So how many of you have this experience? The first design or first idea haunted you. Even though you kind of knew that you had to give it up, but you could not. Yeah, I see many hands. Good. All right. So often holds on to the first design developed in early stage, and you cannot discard, right? You cannot throw it away, even though you kind of know by gut. But you'll be able to do that, to throw it away or give up, if you can consider the higher level purpose. Okay? We call it meta thinking. If you can start asking yourself, so why do we need this for? One more time, if you can start asking that question to yourself one more time, then you can say, oh, okay, to serve this need, the purpose, maybe this is not the best solution. I can go, find a new solution or alternative. Okay, that's the whole point. And identifying different level of purposes to help generate alternative and creative design options. Okay? I'll show you how Professor Ishii came up with this value graph idea. It's quite interesting. So this is actually from his book, and this is actually the result of him, an engineer from Apple. Okay? So imagine him, Professor Ishii, and the guy from Apple or lady from Apple talking. All right? So lady from Apple came to Ishii Sensei and said, hey, we need to do something about cooling fan we have. Do you know cooling fan? So these things have a cooling fan. So because it has a lot of electronics inside, it consumes a lot of energy and it exerts the heat. Okay? So you have a lot of cooling fans. You can kind of hear it now. There's a hot air coming out. So these people came to Ishii Sensei and discussed cooling fan. And Ishii Sensei did not talk about how cooling fans should be designed. Instead, he started asking questions to Apple people. Okay, by the way, why do you need that? Why do you want cooling fan for? I mean, what do you want cooling fan for? That was the question he asked. All right? And then there's a discussion. Okay, we want cooling fan for generating airflow. Okay? So Enishi sensei said, oh, okay. So to generate your airflow, yes, cooling fan might be an option. But how about inducing convection? And it's a little engineering term. It's about the heat convection, right? So the air can just naturally suck up your heat. That's basically it. So instead of having cooling fan, if you want the airflow, you can just enhance the heat convection. And how to do it is to arrange your circuit board in a vertical way or make more holes onto the body of whatever you're thinking. So that was his suggestion. And Apple people were, oh, okay, yeah, that may be an option, But he never stopped there. He then asked, so, by the way, why do you want generate airflow? Okay, what is it for? And then the Apple people were thinking and said, okay, we don't really want to generate airflow, but what we really want is to remove the heat inside. Okay? And removing the heat, there is one option of generating airflow, but instead you can do water cool the device. Okay? That's what Ishii sensei proposed. So that's another alternative. And he never stopped there. So why do you want to remove the heat for? And then the ladder goes up and says, maintain temperature inside. So removing the heat is not the ultimate goal, but the real goal above that is maintaining the temperature inside, right? So removing heat could be an option, but reducing wattage or the energy used inside this thing can maintain the temperature. Or if you're shipping the device to Antarctica, don't worry about it. Okay, this is the joke he implemented in his book. Okay, he died, so there's a right. But it's interesting. And he never stopped there. Why do you want maintain temperature for? And then here comes it seems the ultimate goal. Okay, maintaining temperature is just a temporary goal. The ultimate goal is enhancing reliability of the product and prolong the product life. That was the goal. Okay? Yes, maintaining temperature could be your option, but use better chip that can survive the heat, that can survive longer. So you see how this discussion evolved, yeah? And what you're seeing here, is these are high-level purposes, right? These are high-level purposes, and the boxes that are not in the bold, those are alternatives, alternative solutions, all right? Who ever thought about shipping devices to Antarctica was an alternative option for a cooling fan? You probably don't, right? Because you probably were trying to choose which cooling fan should I use. Maybe that was the question by Apple. But that's very narrow-minded. If you look up high the purpose, then using a better chip can solve all the issue, right? Can solve the whole issue and forget about cooling fan, okay? I'm not saying you should ignore the cooling fan right away, but you should understand that there might be an option. Or if you collaborate with these, for example, if you have a little bit better chips, then it'll help to have a smaller cooling fan, right? Doesn't it? So these alternatives helps you to think broader about your idea, the first idea or the concept. That's what the value graph upper half can help you. All right? So I'm going to show you an example before we move on. So, okay, I've made this value graph upper half for you. So let's say life log shoe. No one had this idea this year. But life log shoe. You know life log? It's becoming more common. Like the Apple Watch is part of the life log. It keeps your data and it helps you to, maybe identify some activities or maybe suggest you some activities. So I was kind of thinking of life log shoes, okay? And I was doing the very similar discussion as Ishii Sensei and Apple people did. So what is the higher purpose of lifelong shoes? What is it for? Okay, so I'm going up the black ladder. So it is to keep track of walking exercise. Okay, amount of walking exercise I'm doing. So to keep track of walking exercise, using lifelong shoes is one, right, option. But I can do manually, right? I can do current smartphone that I have. Those are other options, all right? And lifelong shoe has not only just one purpose, but here's the second purpose I identify. Whoops. Okay, here's the second purpose I identify. To present to others that you are a health-concerned person. This is almost like the Red Bull discussion that we had earlier the first day. Just to show people that you're the health concern. All right? And then the alternative of having lifelong shoes is other healthcare stuff. Right? And then the third purpose that I noticed, or I identified, to present to others that you are an early adapter. Right? You have a new gadget. Right? And of course, the other gadget can be alternative options. Okay, that's my first layer. I'm going even up higher. To keep track of walking exercise, what is the higher purpose for that? And here, to sustain health, right, is one. And to sustain health, to keep track of walking exercise is one option, but not keep track and just do, right? No record, just do it, okay? And some other higher purposes are found to sustain motivation to continue the healthy lifestyle. This is one way to do it, or just self-motivate, or get a private coach. There are alternatives. And to present others that you are a health-concerned person, and is to sustain motivation to continue the healthy lifestyle, and also to have a reputation that you are a cool person. Okay? And that is also connected from this too, that you're an early adopter, and the higher purpose for that is to have a reputation. Okay? I'm climbing up the higher to get a date, ultimately. And it depends on how you do it, but it's my case, okay? So to get a date, I can, be sustaining the motivation to healthier lifestyle, and then maybe have a reputation of I'm a cool guy, or just have a plastic surgery. That's it. That may solve my problem or issue, whatever, or get the goal. Or here, to sustain health is to live long, or maybe to sustain health is an option, but just go see a good doctor. That might be your alternative. So see what I did? So I started from lifelong shoes, but I found out some very interesting alternatives. And these alternatives are not just alternatives that means nothing, but think about this. What if my lifelong shoe can collaborate with a good doctor? Yeah? It's not just a single product, but it collaborates closely with a good doctor. Then maybe I can attract more users who are concerned to live longer. Because my product can support this purpose, and also seeing a good doctor can support this purpose from different perspectives. Why not collaborate? Then my promotion will be probably not at the shoe store, but at the hospital, right? Then I may sell my shoe better. So that's the type of discussion you can do using such a graph, okay? So, maybe some other insight can be found. For example, here. So insight, using this, getting a date packaging and branding may be suitable for certain age group. So my lifelong shoe is not for elderly, but if I can give this image of this lifelong shoe can get you a date package, then I might be well off with the teenagers. I don't know. Right? So that's the type of discussion I want you to try to do. Okay. So I'm going to just skip the Japanese version of this. I think it was good enough for everyone. What's that? Right. Okay, I have a Japanese version printed out for you. So if you want to take a look. If you're not so confident with the English version example. All right, so again, let's stick with that idea you have right now. Whether you like it or not, let's stick with it. Okay? So I want you to try to discuss and create the value graph upper half of your that idea. So get a clean sheet of paper, the whiteboard paper, and at the bottom, maybe the sideways, the portrait, the landscape is better. Sideways? Okay, at the bottom, where I put lifelog shoes, try to, give a name of your idea, whatever the idea you had there. The moving shelf or whatever communication system, or just give a name. It's temporary name, so that you know that's the start. Okay, put it down there. Okay, and that's where you start. And try to use 2 different post-it notes. Okay, maybe yellow for your purposes, maybe blue or some other color for your alternative solutions for that certain purpose. Okay, try to use two different color pens. So black and maybe blue. I don't know. Yeah, you can stick to the color code here. And please ask yourself, what is the higher purpose? Okay, what is the higher purpose? And for those who are, kind of thinking in Japanese in your mind, ask yourself, これってそもそも何の目的だっけ? Okay? そもそも忘れないでください。そもそもって言わないと、だんだん原因のこと考え始めちゃうんです。原因じゃなくて、そもそも目的を考えてくださいね。これってそもそも何だっけか、そもそも何の目的だっけっていうのを絶対自分の頭に入れといてください。Okay? So you always ask yourself, what is the higher purpose? Okay? Higher abstraction level purposes. Alright? Good? Good? Okay, now you are ready to go. I'll give you 30 minutes. Stop me if you need any help, okay?
Why do we need skincare?
Why do we need skincare? Yellow can go up. You want to put all the down. You have five or six. You have to go up and down. So I also how about this way?
Okay, one thing I really want to emphasize, okay? One thing, just one thing. While you go up, your purpose becomes more abstract and more abstract, okay? Keep that in your mind. Maybe I can show you an example of Stanford people. Here's a good example. Okay, can you move your whiteboard? Sorry, I should have shown you earlier. So this is a Stanford professor when he came to our class and gave a lecture. The mobile radiography was a concept, okay? And it's fun. Why? It's to diagnose patients, and it's for a battlefield. So treat soldier. Why you treat soldier is to save soldier. Why you save soldier is maintain peace. And why you maintain peace is to protect mankind. Okay? And diagnose patient is to return soldier to the field. Why you return soldier to the field is to win war. And winning United States winning war is to protect mankind. It's very United States, I would say. And even the Professor Cart Bader, who's a Californian, he said so too. So it was kind of funny that he made that. But you see what's happening. The higher level purposes are very abstract. I'm pretty sure you end up saying the similar thing, saving mankind or happiness for mankind or whatever. You can stop somewhere else, somewhere around there. Okay? All right.
One by one. Yeah, that's more easier. Otherwise, it will get confusing. So maybe we should think like one per person, the yellow one, and then we should have a pink one at the same time, so that it gets easier. So let's see how all the oh, makeup, yes.
Have skincare.
Have skincare. That's a nice idea. Have skincare. What should I write? I would just say.
Not to get tan. And somebody would say, what? I would like to get tan. Somebody was telling me yesterday that there was some kind of movement in Japan that everybody wanted to get tan.
Yes, long time ago. Now it's like they want it to be white as much as they want. They can, so.
Get tan and but then these are solutions for it, right? No, they're solutions for wearing sunscreen. These are all solutions that we find. We are not supposed to find solutions. We are saying that not get tan or get tan. Right?
Instead of generative flow,
So to get tan and not get tan. So not get tan or get tan. Smartphones or
How do you keep track?
but then skin protection you have 10 options. For skin protection you have 10 options. Have a umbrella, skin cream, don't go out.
This is the wide one. Explain it. What's the wide?
why do you
So then, if you don't want to get that, you might want to get that. So you go to US, people want to get that. You go to UK, people want to get that.
This is the hall. Why did you want
You want to ask something?
Order. Well, I think not get
What else? We keep it over here. What else? Why do you want skin infection? Look here. Look at sleep. Again, plastic surgery, makeup. Okay, so why do you want to look here? I really try hard to have some light in your business. So I am trying to help guide
you want to look wide?
I am supposed to be effective.
And so you want to look like a But you can have an alternative. You can wear something that makes you look good. And then you can have that beard.
I tried that. So the point is, somebody might know what it is.
So they don't need to protect
So why do people want to look here?
because men comply young girls.
Yeah, so get a date. Just like it, right?
So I want to feel good about it. Stay confident.
So that these are two things. Get a date,
Or get
look confident about myself.
get
What?
married.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
I like this one.
Okay, so get a date, confident, what else?
Point is, expand in this level.
Good health.
Expand in this level. Live long life. And this will have impact. This will have impact. So we
We should have the alternate.
This will also come over here.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe this is
Yeah, you are standing this way. Not that way. We are trying to do image.
But there are some.
So what
But
are
if,
you?
well, I'm not sure if you don't get a tan, yeah. But they get wrinkles. Wrinkles, yes.
Wrinkle and tan are two different.
No.
It will
Get
close to.
dry. The skin dry because of the suntan. So is that true?
Point. That the people out there, young people out there, US, who literally come here to get tan, right? And they're young. Skin doesn't go bad.
Why make us smile? Why do we need to smile?
Because if they're young, okay, if you're exposed to the sun for, let's say, 20 years, and somebody who has never been exposed to the sun, the wrinkle level,
So and India is humid climate. So in India, people fair.
They want to become fair, just like everything over here.
Become what?
Become fair, white.
Right.
They want to get tan to look beautiful and stay here.
Yeah, because different climates.
That, but you want to cover.
So maybe we think of it especially Japanese or
Get a date on the living side.
dating.com.
Big deal. Get married. Yeah, why don't you get married?
I don't know, because my kids get hurt, right? So that makes it look them young, right? So it kind of like not to get a ton is why, because you want it to stay beautiful, I understand, but not white kid looks young.
So does a black man.
I mean like, let's say like a Japanese cases, but even like the little kids, like if I see in the summer they get hung, I think that they're young, just because. So I don't know how this
Question. Somebody would say that's beautiful. Somebody would say that's get married and be happy as a man. There are many options.
Well, we have a lot of other things to do, right? Not only getting a date means like, well, it will, yeah, but how about confidence?
So why do you want to be confident? Perform better in job?
Potential regret.
Can get the
Good job?
better result.
So getting better is a great study more. Study more.
Study more?
Study more.
You want to be confident because you want to be successful in your career.
That's option.
Confident because you want to. Why do you want to be confident?
Because I want other people to admire me.
Okay, put it over.
Or can get
Correct.
So you want more people to admire you? So I wanted to have an ultimate.
So you want to be more confident?
That's why
Get a cycle.
Get the friends that they like
Because the riches also more. So, That's okay, we understand. Yeah, she's coming on that. I didn't tell you
Right, yeah. Why not?
People will admire your riches. So how you become a super duper scholar? You become prime minister of Japan, people will admire. How bad you do?
Not really. I don't either. No. He's not. What do you do?
Okay, people will. In India, people admire your prime minister.
See, getting a date seems to be a good higher purpose for almost any product. But yeah, you see what you're doing. So you start talking about the steam production, right? But if this wasn't one of the very final purposes, then dates.com exactly or great collaboration during because you can collaborate put up ads there, you might be more successful than people who want to and also like good civilian protection. Okay? So what you're looking at is a possible threat or the collaboration. So that's what we're looking at. So completing this thing does not mean anything, but discussing using this means a lot. Okay?
President of US. Oh, okay. But then, what I was thinking was become an actress without and get admired before without the CEO of
I don't even know him, so I can't.
yeah,
Female.
whatever.
Can?
Become the instructor of KOS. Potential player. You should write down this. Become the instructor of KOS. Then it will look like a threat to you. There is competition for gain points. Somebody wants to become an instructor of KOS.
Leave it alone now. Fall in love.
10.10.
Maybe it's debut.
Instructor for KOS. But then, why don't you get
People say girls. But then
it is about getting
and
someone to fall in love, right?
hormone.
No, it is about getting someone to fall in love, right? You don't
No,
want
no,
to
no, no. I fall in love with someone so that I will stay live longer.
Well, no, that's the other solution. To stay beautiful, they fall in love. Girls fall in love and they want to get together. And
that's the one. You want to fall in love, you need to do that. It's about you asking somebody to fall in love with you.
no, it's called skipping.
I might be in love with Angelina Jolie, but then what?
You don't hope your wife will remain beautiful? No.
They should fall in love. She should fall in love. Then I'll live on.
Well, maybe this virgin is stay beautiful too, woman, yes. But men can also fall in love with someone, so that doesn't apply anything. But
You want to fall in love. Why don't you?
because I want you to like her.
Look,
Yeah.
wait, look, you're saying in your logic, I need to be beautiful in order to get a present. No, I need to be beautiful in order to get a no. I will stay beautiful if I like. I will stay beautiful if I get a present. I will stay beautiful if I put makeup on. You understand that order? You're saying the other way.
It doesn't matter if you're beautiful or not.
If you want to get plastic surgery,
I'm in love with my I'm in love with my I'm in love with my studies.
yes.
So how am I going to fall in love? That's all.
But that's a different kind of
So you want to fall in love with one beautiful. I might be in love with Angelina Jolie. Doesn't matter. That person should fall in love with me. And that's why I want to be
No.
So it doesn't matter the other person.
I understand. You want somebody to love me, so I try hard. Getting you.
It's not about you falling in love, it's about somebody else falling in love.
That's why you try hard. Let's say you fall in love with somebody who will think about you, like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Let's say, like Brad Pitt. Will I try to stay beautiful for Brad Pitt?
No, because we know.
That's like,
Yeah.
right. If you have a partner and you like somebody, you try to gain their attention by looking you.
Okay. I want your attention, please. So I see many groups are creating a good value graph. That's okay. Now, please stop creating value graph and grab the different color post-it that is not used right now. Do you have that color? No, then I don't know. The red is okay. You can use the red, yeah, okay? Pick the color that you haven't used so often, okay? Now, do this. Discuss about your value graph session, both process and then the result here. Okay? Hey, I want your attention. Okay? So discuss about your value graph, both process while you're making one and the result itself. And write down interesting findings or new questions or insights that might, you might have. All right. So stop creating new higher purposes and alternatives, but try to discuss using it because this is the meat. All right. Making the value graph is nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But insight following this is the meat that we want. All right. So if you don't see any meat, there was no sense, no meaning for making this. But of course there's a meat. All right. Get it? So I'll give you, I don't know, maybe a little more than 5 minutes to find insight. Okay? Go look back your discussion while you were creating. Take a look at the result that you've done. Okay? Alright, go find insights.
You were throwing them away, not me.
You like to be admired. You like to be dominated.
I think so.
Yeah, what do you do about it then? Okay. Probably happen is that you have some purpose.
Something like you find that leads to like a solution or something like that. And that's we call insight that we covered yesterday. Yeah. So it could be your opinion, but that insight leads to find a solution later on. So maybe it could be insight. Yeah.
But we don't need to look at this like
Yeah. It's just that like something it goes to what you find, but that is kind of like a key essential that will lead to later on in your new service or new solution. So he said people like to be admired.
that would be an insight for everything.
Somewhere in the domain of knowledge. In that context.
Admire your own knowledge.
That happens. But
Okay.
hey, we're pivoting. We are not going to help you instead of going this direction.
Yeah, we kind of like keep jumping up. From Skipper Dixon?
If this is what you want to do, you should pray about
I think you should look for he said something unusual.
He stuffed his neck. See where you reach. From skincare.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, please have a seat. Please have a seat. Let's pause and please have a seat. Everyone, please have a seat. Please have a seat. So, how did it go? How did your value graph go? Did your value graph and then the insight picking help you to update your concept? Yes? Give a new aspect maybe? Yeah? A lot to think about? Again, this is looking at your concept or design or the idea in a systemic way. Right? Now, I gave you a viewpoint of higher purposes and alternatives. And you see how they are related. Right? So you're not just looking at the single point, which is your idea, but you're looking around, actually the context in a many different ways. And that really gives you new things to discuss, right? And since this is a workshop, I need to, move you forward, so I'm not doing so, but after you've done this, there's so many brainstorming questions you can start to come up, right? Because I think it's triggering you a lot of brainstorming topics. You see that probably. So you see each tools or each method are really connected, but I need to kind of teach you in a disconnected way so that you don't get lost in the woods. Okay, I don't want to see 55 people lost in the woods. I'm trying to, keep the rally going. So, but you see all these are connected and it's iterative, right? I'm pretty sure some of you want to go back to the functional design, right? And change a few things and see how it comes out, right? So these are all connected. And again, higher purposes are very similar to talking about values, probably, right? Very close to talking about the values. What values is it creating? How is it creating? And what could be an alternative solution to create that same value, right? So even though I'm talking about different tools and different things, but we're still talking about creating new value and how it could be provided. All right? So, okay. So I know I'm gonna, let's take a 10-minute break. Okay? Now, go ahead.
I think we have a fundamental issue here. Yes. Many of us are generating a lot of, not concepts, generating a lot of reasons, a lot of things like that. When you ask them to generate values, they generate a lot of values, and we should be knowing how to shrink the list of what we are generating, how to prioritize among them. Because at the end, we find a mess of sticky papers here and there, and you really need to select among them. So I know one technique which is called analytical hierarchy process, how to weigh between the different aspects. And I think this is very important for everyone, how to shrink the list you are generating, how to prioritize. So if you have some techniques for that, I would be very happy to listen to them.
Right. Well, there is the one technique we usually teach, view concept evaluation. That's one of the techniques that you select several or compare few items and you kind of make a decision based on the evaluation. But yes, we have a tendency, since the workshop is so short, right? And then you guys are new to each other, it's almost impossible to come to common conclusion. Right? Because your team is not built. I mean, your team is just a team I built for you today, right? So if I put in this real project context, I mean, I personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't force to converge. I'll wait until my team to converge. Because Otherwise, if I force my team to converge, it doesn't work. I mean, it never worked for me. So I will wait the team to converge, but not just waiting, still sitting, but I will do a lot of discussion and sometimes a lot of outside of project activity, a lot of drinking together, a lot of, checking up the mindset, the ultimate goals, and then I'll see what it comes out.
But there are no techniques for guiding the convergence?
Well, yes, of course there are techniques, but technically converged ideas or converged solutions, I don't have very good experience dealing with it. So it's more of creating a bias among your team. So I'll kind of wait, or I'll do enough divergent, then I'll find my team's bias point. Because creating a new thing is almost like having your new bias, right? Because otherwise you will be surfing around 10 million solutions, and that'll never give you, it will never converge itself probably. You need to converge. So this is my maybe the other people might have different opinion, but whenever I'm in the project, I'll wait my team to converge, or have found one common bias or something that they're really attracted to. I don't really rely on the tools. Sometimes I do, but I use tools of convergence when I need to explain to some decision makers, and it works better with some help of the tools, but not in the real actual design process. I'll wait my team to converge.
I agree. At the beginning, we need to have brainstorming and much more divergence and convergence. But as long as we are starting to select, we need selection criteria and filtering, and it needs techniques.
Exactly.
At the beginning, not, but
right.
in the middle, we need. Without that, we cannot go.
Right. You create probably how to converge. You discuss how to converge, right? But forced convergence is, I don't know. We can argue all day, but there are some techniques, and we're aware of that. But in the real process, especially you're risking, everyone in your team is risking your life to the project. I mean, technically converged solution doesn't work, right? You really need it, everybody to be on the same ship. Yeah, so I'll kind of wait. Yeah. But that's a very good practical question. Okay, let's take a 10-minute break. I'll see you at 4.